Well, Paul, you've had a chance, I imagine, to look at the DVD, reflect on the weekend. Still frustrated, still annoyed?
Frustrated, annoyed. Frustrated, yeah. Annoyed, no. You know, having sort of sat and sort of had a look, at the DVD and just reflect on the game in general. We should have won the game. You know, the chances that we've had, that we've created. You look at it. Bath had one real shot on target and one header late on. But I'm just frustrated that we didn't score the second goal. Especially the one early on that hit the bar and at the post. How that stayed out, I don't know. But yeah, I'm still a little bit frustrated. But I'm not downbeat. I think I said prior to the game that we can get better. And I think it's going to take a little bit of time before we see the fruition of this team.
One of the standout positive points from the game that I took away was the strike partnership of Green and Connor looking dangerous after 60 odd minutes.
Yeah, it was. What we did is after 60 minutes we thought that the two were getting a little bit frustrated, to be honest, and in another time. He come off, Rusty come straight on, nearly gets a penalty round the keeper and should have really scored. So, I think there was a lot of positives from Saturday. I don't want to be too downbeat because we drew a football match. I do actually think there was a lot of good performances, but like I said, I think we can get a hell of a lot better at a lot of stuff. And that's not me just saying about Saturday. That I think that was building into the game. That I knew what needs doing, and I know we can improve.
Are you prepared for the scenario, which I think will come into contact with a lot this season here at Field Mill, sides coming to Field Mill and doing what Bath City did, putting 10 men behind the ball and saying, well, come and break us down?
Well, I just think we need to learn by it. It was no... It wasn't any secret what they were going to do. We'd had them watch twice. We went with a certain sort of game plan. On other day it works. And we had enough chances throughout the game to have won the game. Whether we'd have won it 2-1 or 3-1, you still come away with 3 points. But like I say, it's building into it. I know there's going to be quite a few sides that do come down here and put men behind the ball, but it's a learning curve for us. We've got to adapt to it and we've got to overcome it.
First opportunity to get on the road this Tuesday night. What are you expecting at Gateshead?
I'm expecting a very tough game, to be honest. We had somebody there Saturday watching them, and it appears that they were very impressive. I've come up against Ian Bogey's sides in the past. They always play football, always attack minded, and we've got to go up there and be resolute and to earn a result.
In some respects, then, are you going to go to Gateshead and do what Bath did here on Saturday?
Well, I wouldn't say we're necessarily going to do that. I think we've got too many sort of attack-minded players in our squad. But what I said in pre-season is, we're going to look at different systems and use different systems in different games. So we're mindful of the fact we've got to respect every club in this league, and we've got to go in there and earn a result. But what I don't want to do is look at Saturday and pick holes in it too much, because it's very early days yet, and sometimes you can lose sight of the fact of where you are and where you want to be. So we'll go up to Gateshead. We might look at a different system, but with the onus on just getting a good result over there.
You talked on Saturday about how there were injuries in your camp. Any positives coming out of the treatment room at the moment?
Paul Boland should be training today. Adam Smith should be back in full-time training. Lyndon Meikle have to come in on. He probably needs a game under his belt. Richard Sutton will know this morning what level he's at, and obviously John Thompson's nowhere near. The positive is we get Joe Kendrick back for tomorrow. That'll bolster us. Even though the injuries are sort of horrendous, we just got to get on with it until they're fit.
You've talked about a change of formation, a change of personnel going through your mind at the moment for tomorrow night?
Well, I'm mindful of the fact that, it's easy in hindsight, but, I left Lee Stevenson on the bench on Saturday. He's done really well for his pre-season, so he might come into contention tomorrow night. But no, what I don't want to do is I don't want to start tinkering and bringing in 5 different players every game. I want to try and get the team into a close knit unit, and to do that, players need to be playing with each other consistently. So no, not overriding, changes to the team. I don't think we did particularly badly Saturday. I just think, if I'm honest, the frustration for me was such a big crowd, with a chance to pick up, those few drifting supporters, that, to keep them there. And sometimes I think we got a little bit frustrated, and that showed in our football. But no, like I say, I'd still say it's early days yet, and it's what's sort of happening with the squad and the team. It's evolving every game.
And just a final question in regard to the start to the season. We looked at the first 3 games, for example. Would it be fair to say you'd be looking for 7 points, and from those first 3 at least? So therefore, 3 points tomorrow night would be almost a must.
I wouldn't say a must. I think what we've got to do is be respectful to this league and the clubs we're up against. Just because we're Mansfield Town, it doesn't give us a divine right to go to Gateshead and win. The mentality that we're trying to bring to the camp is that we have to earn it. And if we go there tomorrow night, and even if we picked up a point, I think that'd be a good result. What we need to start doing is winning football matches at home, if I'm honest. If we win football matches at home and draw away from home, on average that's 2 points per game, averaging out, it's championship material. I want to get across that this is a learning curve for the lads, and I think what I want in general is it being a learning curve for the club. We're at this level, Mansfield Town at this level for a reason, and we're competing against some very big clubs at this level. We've got I want us to, the club, the team, all the players to get the mindset that we need to go away and earn the right to beat clubs. Whether it's Braintree, whether it's Alfreton, or whether it's Luton, we need to earn the right to do that.
Yeah.
You say obviously you feel like almost we've got to be patient and it's not going to happen overnight kind of thing from what you said there. I mean, do you think that's something that you've learned from last season in particular?
I just think with the nucleus of players we've had in, man. I think the thing that I've learned throughout pre-season is and I'm very impatient as a person, is that things don't come together as quickly as you want them, And I sit down now. We've been in quite early this morning, and we've been looking through stuff, and it is a learning curve for the club. I sat down with the directors on Saturday night, and the highest position we've finished in this league is 10th. Now, at some stage that's got to change. We want that to change. And if we can change that come the end of the season, I'll be over the moon. I'll be over the moon. If we're knocking on the door of the playoffs, or if we're in the playoffs, or what I'm trying to get across is, for that to happen, we might take a few bloody noses early on. If that makes sense. Because we could have gone into. I think even if we'd have won Saturday's game, I still think it papered over some cracks, Matt. If I'm honest. If Toddy had headed the one in late on, if we'd have got the penalty, we'd have won the game 2-1. But we could be set and the press conference could be totally different. We could be spouting off how good 1 or 2 individual performances were, but collectively, as a side, we can get an awful lot better. And to do that, through my head, throughout the weekend, nights, days, I've just been sat there and looking at now in the nitty gritty of, this is the proper football. No pre-season games. This is not testimonial football now. This is where people come and there's points at stake. People, like you just said, come and put men behind the ball. I want us to try and put together now, piece together the best system, and 2, what are the best players at this club to take us to where I want us to be, and ultimately then who are the players that aren't going to be in the plans long term. That sounds quite ruthless, but you never, and people might say, well, you should have thought about that pre-season. You never know, and every manager will be the same. If you look at how many draws and how many sort of weird kind of results there was, on the first opening game of the season, majority of sides won't be the same a month into the season. The results, all of a sudden, the league table will look different in 4 weeks. you know. And I just want to make sure that we've come away from Saturday with not a bad performance, not a brilliant one, but not a bad one, not a bad result, not a great one, but we've come away from it with a massive learning curve in terms of what's needed now to get this club where we want to get.